Hey everybody, I'm Eric in Exile. Today, we're doing another console spotlight, and it just happens to be my favorite video game system of all time, the Sega CDX. Not only does it handle Sega CD games, but it also handles Sega Genesis cartridges as well. That's two systems in one. So sit back and let's take a look at the awesome Sega CDX. Let's do it! The Sega CDX was released in 1994 at the price of $400. The unit supports both Sega CD discs and Sega Genesis cartridges. It can also play standard audio CDs on the go with AA batteries and also has a built-in headphone jack. However, you'll still need to plug in the power supply in order to play games. The cartridge slot also supports the official Sega CD backup RAM cart. Additionally, the folks over at Stone Age Gamer offer a CD backup RAM cart that has 4 times the storage space of the official backup RAM cart, which is great for saving your progress in games that support the save feature. Now let's take a look at a few games on the console. Let's start with one of the best shoot-'em-up games for the Sega CD, and that would be Kaiyo Flying Squadron. Kaiyo Flying Squadron is a shoot-'em-up, also known as a cute-'em-up, which is a subgenre of shooter games. The characters are silly and funny, but the game itself is hard as nails. I'm doing pretty good in this footage, but I will get easily roasted by the bad guys. I'm currently using a SCART cable for the CDX, which lets you see the whole picture. Anyways, Kaiyo Flying Squadron is a great game. Eternal Champions Challenge from the Dark Side is a fun fighting game and a great upgrade from the cartridge version to the Sega CD. The music has been upgraded to full CD quality, and a total of 24 fighters are now on the roster. Each fighter has their own unique moves, and the game now has finishing moves in the style of Mortal Kombat fatalities. Sometimes the fighting can feel clunky, but it pays off when you do finally land a finishing move and you're treated to a cutscene of your opponent getting obliterated in various ways. That line of static that you see at the bottom of the screen, it's always there. If you play your Sega games on an old school TV, you won't see that line. It's not a big deal, it's just the way that it is. What can be said about Sonic CD? It's the perfect Sonic game. It was released to critical acclaim, it sold over 1 million copies, it has a CD quality soundtrack, and you can time travel in the game. Sonic CD is required for anybody that owns a Sega CD unit or a Sega CDX. It's Sonic at his best. He flies the flag of all things Sega, and that's what a mascot does. If you haven't played Sonic CD, I say go pick up a copy. You can't go wrong. Demolition Man is a great platformer shooter that takes a lot from the movie and puts it right into the game. You get tons of guns and plenty of bad guys to shoot. Occasionally, they mix up the game into a top-down perspective, which breaks up the platforming and makes you adjust to the top-down perspective. You also get some full-motion video cutscenes featuring Stallone and Wesley Snipes, among others. There were other versions of the game for Genesis, Super Nintendo, and the 3DO, which was completely different from the other versions. I will say that the Sega CD version is my favorite, and it's great fun. Now, let's pop in a cartridge. Robocop vs. Terminator is my favorite Sega Genesis game. It has everything you could want in a video game. It's got Robocop, it's got the Terminator, it's got crazy powerful weapons, it's got boss battles, it's violent, it's the perfect game. It really is the ultimate platformer run and gun game for the Genesis. They need to make a sequel to this game, like right now. These are two franchises that deserve to be back on the radar. The ability to have both of these characters in a new game should not be wasted. Cyborgs fighting each other is probably the best thing ever. Highly recommended. Crewball is a pinball game that features the music of Motley Crue. The pinball action is pretty standard, but it's held up by the music of Motley Crue. Granted, the music is Genesis music, but it still holds up. I'm not sure why we needed a Motley Crue version of Pinball, but it's a decent game. I would have liked to see more Crew content, like interviews and so forth. But the focus is about Pinball, so I get it. I'd like to see Crew Ball ported over to newer systems. Imagine Crew Ball upgraded and all decked out with modern graphics and fully licensed music. That would be great. Alien 3 as a movie gets a lot of flack, but I don't mind it. As far as the game goes, I enjoy it, and I like seeing Ripley dealing out damage to the aliens and freeing those human hostages. She's got several guns to choose from. I prefer the machine gun, but the flamethrower and the grenade launcher are very cool as well. The game can get hard at times though. I've never beaten the game. I need to go back and beat it once and for all. The levels can be tough. At some point, you just run out of ammo. There's not much you can do about that. Anyways, there's no shortage of Alien games to play, trust me. We've got tons of Alien games out there. Coffee Crisis is an independently made game that was recently released. It's a side-scrolling beat-em-up that has aliens coming to Earth to steal our coffee and metal music. It's pretty hilarious at times, and it's all around good fun. I wanted to include Coffee Crisis to show that good independent games can still be made for the Sega consoles. Even though Sega doesn't do much with their properties these days, it's still good to see the interest in Sega is still there. There you have it. The Sega CDX is still alive in 2019. If you can find one of these systems in good working order, go ahead and grab it. I bought my Sega CDX in 1994 and it's still working. Eventually, I'll probably retire the CDX and move over to the Mega SG/CD drive combo. If you like what I'm doing here, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Share this video with your friends. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I post a brand new video every Friday, so click that notification bell to be notified when it goes live. Let me know what you think about the Sega CDX down in the comments below. I want to thank everybody for joining in today, and I'll see you in the next video.